They look similar but are very different. Have you ever wondered why Wither Skeletons carries a corrupted disease, or why the Skeletons guards the stronghold, and of course why they are so different? Well, it's because they are different. You might hate these skeletons, but after hearing their story, you won't. Minecraft skeletons were introduced a long time ago, from the very beginning of the game, on September 1st, 2009, and during the survival test phase they made their official debut alongside zombies. However, our Wither skeleton was added 3 years later than the normal skeleton, on October 25, 2012, officially launching on 1.4.2, the Pretty Scary update, along with the Wither. So on the other skeletons being like the skeleton horse, the stray, the bogged, and the parched. But in this video, we are focused on the two major ones, the normal and the Wither skeletons. So let's start with the normal one. A long time ago, when these skeletons just revolved around the world without their bow, they were very different. Look at their movement, so basic. And now look at their movement. When comparing between then versus now, we can see a lot of improvement. However, their story begins with how and why they exist in Minecraft, including some theories. When we look at the official game's approach, it's confirmed that they were added to increase difficulty as the developers were focused on the ranged attacks that players can experience. Enough with the dry data, let's dive into the stories that actually matter. Skeletons are what happens when a zombie dies, because witches made them in a way to continue damaging the player even if the zombies die. Many people believe that skeletons are like zombies, the humans who were once affected by some disease. However, this isn't true, and I'll explain it in a minute. So for now, let's look at this contrasting theory. The skeletons are just another entities that were summoned by a certain character, a character ruling them, controlling them, and even upgrading them, and that character is the Nameless One. Came from the Minecraft Dungeons, the first game by Mojang that's set in the Minecraft universe. But one thing to mention, that how the Nameless One uses a staff to summon skeletons supports the idea of one of the theory that states that skeletons are magical constructs, and yet the evidence of this theory is taken from an interview where the game's director himself talks about the character. So this Nameless One is the ruler of the undead, and especially the skeletons. Now let's look at why the skeletons aren't zombies. The biggest clue is the difference in their purpose. Zombies are like hungry animals. They only want to bite and eat because they are fleshy and need food. Meanwhile, the skeletons, they don't have stomachs, so they don't need to eat. Also, how they shoot and aim isn't normal. However, the most solid one is after transforming from zombies, they should be weaker and not a strategist. Therefore, when we discuss this theory, many questions are raised. So without any solid evidence, this theory remains just a guess.
Look at all of Minecraft skeletons. The normal ones are obviously the skeletons of villagers.
Now our final theory about the normal skeletons suggests that they were professional soldiers under the order of the ancient builders. This can be true, like how much tactical they are than the mindless zombies, though their movement also highlight their professional military behavior. Even their presence in the stronghold reflects their purpose of guarding. However, as the stronghold contains iron barred cells, which also reflect that they might be surveilling the prisoner imprisoned inside the cells a long time ago. Meanwhile, the Wither skeletons are also the elite heavy-foot soldiers guarding nether fortresses with swords. According to this theory, these soldiers were originally assigned to defend important structures like strongholds and fortresses, while they continue to stand their ground and guard these ruins thousands of years after their civilization fell. Now the Wither skeletons. These tall, strong, poisonous guys are dangerous, so their dark lore. Meanwhile, their in-game story highlights the importance of their head for summoning the Wither. However, the purpose of their existence is linked to the previous theory about the skeletons being soldiers. Therefore, the Wither skeletons are guarding the Nether fortress, and they might also be the servants of the Wither, even though they aren't the servants, as Wither itself comes to life when the player wants and creates it. Except from this, the Wither skeletons are being controlled by the Nether's evil energy. As in the world of entities, they are very high ranking, almost as powerful as villages. Think of them as the generals of the underworld. However, they started as the souls of humans who had a lot of hatred in their hearts. This hatred was so strong that they can literally drain the life out of anyone they touch. Moreover, when the portal to the Nether opened up, these angry souls' anger changed them from regular people into the tall black skeletons we see today. So now our last theory, and it states that Wither skeletons were actually formed by the miners who came to the Nether and died. As time passed, the miners lost all their skin and insides, leaving only their bones behind. These skeletons were then dipped in lava, which makes their bones grow larger and turns them black and burnt. And yet, they weren't very smart, so they spent their lives wandering through the halls of the fortresses. Our conclusion is that they both are the skeletons, just with different stories. But I think skeletons being soldiers is a solid one. What do you think? And of course, the saddest part is that they aren't fighting for themselves. They are just mindless soldiers serving their master. So for now, let the story stay here and see you in the next one.